I mean, the reason that there's not these cities is because of what he's talking about. It's because of the underlying value system that people have. I mean, and so therefore, what good would it be to just put the city there first and then, just assume? I mean, literally the exact same thing that happened with Soviet communism. I mean, it's just simply not ready. People are not ready, and there's going to be abuse, and there's going to be all sorts of issues associated with it. So, I mean, again, this movement is not just about the technology. I mean, if that's all that was the problem, then we wouldn't even be appealing to the majority of the populace, because the majority of the populace is technically illiterate. I mean, we start getting an understanding that the people that make up the general population, they do have a role to play in this social transformation and in this social/technical transformation, but it's a transformation that occurs only when they are thinking the same and they understand the nature of the world, and they understand the nature of why things are going the way they are, why things are wrong, and how to make them better. And it's not just as simple as the nuts and bolts of building here's a schematic for a really sustainable car, and that's going to, what's that going to do? Nothing. Someone's going to abuse it and start profiting from it. I mean, it's like, it's pointless to release this stuff. And for that reason, I can kind of see why Jacques Fresco says that, he's, I don't really know what technology he has or anything like that, but if he does have some sort of schematics or some sort of patentable, ideas or something like that, why he's not releasing them, I can understand that. Even in principle, even if he doesn't have any. I mean, if he did, I understand why he wouldn't want to be releasing that kind of stuff, because it's pointless right now with the system that exists right now and the values that most people have. So I agree with what Jacques says about why we cannot, at this time, just simply implement it.
Because when I look at the Venus Project, I see a utopian vision where almost we can change man and women's own internal spirit, human nature. How do we go about changing someone's nature?
Okay. First of all, as a kid, when I was about 15 or 16, I asked all those questions you're asking now. So I said to myself, how can you make a world of uniformity, bring all the nations together? The social customs, their concept of God is different. They may have 10 wives, you believe in one. How do you bring them together? And I said the most difficult 3 words in my life: I don't know. I really didn't know. I said, how can I do that? So I said, don't try to design a global civilization until you understand what you're talking about. I talked to myself and I said, how do you know your system works? It sounds good on paper. You sound like, as my own language, a utopian. So I got a book from the library years ago, and it was called 125 Utopias and Why They Failed. To me, that was very important to read. And I read that book, and I came up with something slightly different. I felt that I had in my day a thing called a Victrola. You wind it up and the record would play. And I was thinking within those terms, and my age, like 94, I've seen so many changes that I couldn't accept the notion of utopia. If I designed a very good city, that's the best I know up to now.
Research center to promote this direction in every way possible, and it would be a planning center for the next city, and we would be having people there that would be producing in any way possible things to get these ideas out, such as books and videos and movies, to reach all different types of people. And then we'd invite people from all over the world. We'd have a section of it, maybe 1/8 of the city, left for people from all over the world to come and visit and see the city. and then go back, and hopefully they would do one city in their part of the world, and it would gradually spread. The building of the city would be lower cost than any other type city, because it's not built for conspicuous waste. It's built for energy consumption and to save resources and to promote a higher standard of living. And many things would be prefabricated so we can build another city quickly and efficiently.
The city will consist of engineers and planners who plan the detail of the city. I will give them the details, if they make contact with me, of how to build the city. What has to be done. You can go to concrete companies. You can go around and ask them to donate steel, whatever we need. Ask them for it. Say, if you want a future, this is the future. Otherwise, things are going to get worse. They're going to go downhill, and there'll be no future. This is what you have to tell businessmen, that the Venus Project does not want to destroy the free enterprise system. It wants to lift everybody up, so the richest person today will be considered poor in the Venus Project. Because the Venus Project has all kinds of medical research in heart disease, cystic fibrosis, all the diseases. No more digging up nickels and dimes. In a resource-based economy, do we have the resources to do this? We have more than enough resources. This is a hard thing to say. If you ask people what they want, they really don't know. Now, they think they want a job to earn enough money to pay for a house and a car. What they want is a house and a car. They don't want a job. So people don't even know how to come to the point. What is it that you want? You want to be free to study whatever you want to study in any university without owing $40,000 when you get out. The better educated all people are, all over the world, the richer the whole world. Every kid deprived of a college education or information is going to hurt you. Every kid shooting up drugs, you're going to pay for later on. So I notice that a lot of high school kids and college kids hang out in malls. I don't like the United States. There should be art centers, music centers, cultural centers for kids to go to, not hang out in Coca-Cola stands or in restaurants. So we are abusing millions of people that way. And if we would take all the soldiers and teach them how to become problem solvers.
I really hope that we can work it out with people within the movement that disagree. I mean, that's my ultimate goal, because if we can't do it within the movement, then we can't expect people to take us seriously about how we would actually implement that on a global scale, because that's really what we're proposing. We're really wanting people to shift their values to view that we're all connected. And so I hope that we just all remember that at the end of the day, and the way that we approach people in these kind of topics with care, but certainly swiftly as well when it comes to working together for one goal and keeping the focus.